Hi everybody, welcome to my last drawing with colored pencils, at least for a while. I'm moving on to a new medium because February is done. So I'm sketching in my creature here, and from the title you saw it's a sleepy duck. And this drawing was inspired by my weird sleeping schedule and insomnia attacks throughout the last couple of days. I'm taking a reference photo that was shot by my dear friend Tina, and it's really lovely. It's actually multiple ducks on the edge of an icy lake, but I just chose that one that seems to nap because that's what I felt like. I desperately wanted to sleep over the last couple of days. Once I had the sketch down, I started coloring. And I'm staying pretty close to the real colors. I'm taking a mahogany maroon, kind of a reddish brown, together with a Van Dyke brown and a bit of light ochre to color in the brown sections of the duck. This is a male duck, so he has quite the brilliant, colorful, shiny, reflective kind of a head, but the rest of the body is very laid back when it comes to the coloring. So I'm taking those mentioned browns and warm grays in 3 shades, a light, a medium and a dark shade of warm grays, to color in the lighter parts of the feathers, as well as with the browns the absolute dark areas that are really brown on the reference photo there. I'm being pretty heavy on the pigment, so I'm not burnishing the paper. I'm really going in there with pressure, but I'm having lots and lots of layers put on top of each other of the same color before I blend them out. So it's like I'm going over each section maybe 5, 6 times, 7 times to have a lot of pigment in there, and also have the least amount of white spaces that comes from the grooves and crevices from the toothy paper there. For the beak, I chose a very warm yellow with a light ochre that is also quite the yellowish tinted pigment. And for the head itself, I chose 2 shades of phthalo green, which is a bluish kind of a green, and went in for shading with a dark indigo. Once I had that down, I went in with paint thinner and blended everything out. And I'm having quite a small brush here, because I want to make sure that I can move in circles and really blend out the pigment that I put down. So you can really see it pretty well on the light gray part here. The brown I'm trying to feather in, and it works quite nice. But for the grays, it almost looks like, I don't know, I'm like hovering over certain areas, but actually I'm moving in very small circles and blending those together. This video is sped up by I think 20 times, so it looks kind of weird, but trust me, I'm really moving in small circles. Not for the head though. I'm kind of feathering there, trying to draw in as much of the blue indigo into the phthalo green as I can. Now once I had that down, I moved on to the water section, and for that I took cold grays and this olivey kind of a green, light grays, and 2 blues. One is cold, one is warm. So the darker color is a turquoise, a very dark turquoise, and this light blue is actually more of a cold color, though to my eye it sometimes, depending on what color it's next to, it sometimes has a warm tint, but not always. So I'm putting in some ripples, but not really very many. I just want to give the viewer the impression of the duck sitting on a very quiet lake, not a lot of ripple and disturbances there, but well, you will have movement in the water if there is a duck swimming and sleeping. So for the water section, I moved on to a bigger brush because there's not a lot of detail or things that I have to move around, but rather a large section of pigment that I have to move in the same direction, meaning horizontally, so that you really get the sensation of ripples there. For the sky, I used the same light blue and a light gray that I also use in the water, and I'm not coloring the whole sky but just a bit of it, and then I will feather that out to the white paper. It's actually not a stark white, but almost like natural white kind of a paper, so that helps quite a bit there to work with the warm grays. It makes the transition to the white sky way more natural. I'm blending that out again, and then I'm signing my name and I'm done. This was a very sweet and lovely to make kind of a drawing in tribute of my insomnia and weird sleeping schedules over the last couple of days. It's pretty much, yeah, almost a little bit more than a week. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. If you want to see more close-up photos maybe of that drawing, or want to acquire it and just take a look on how much that would cost, hop on over to my blog. I do have all the information put on a blog post there for you. I will see you next Friday with a new painting then, because it's gonna be watercolors. And I will see you tomorrow with my newest episode of Talk O'Clock. Thanks again for watching. Have a lovely, lovely day. And if you feel like giving this video a thumbs up or share it with your friends or subscribe to the channel, go ahead. I very, very much appreciate that. And I will see you. Have a good one. Bye.